Welcome to a quick guide on how to use Relial's Sigil tool. Relial's Sigil tool is a pretty nice tool to help you snipe what sigils you want. So, first step is to open the program. The first page you'll have is the how to use page, which is pretty nice and detailed. Second page, we'll have the desync page, which requires you to go to this diva song area. So we're going to be popping in here, and we'll be talking to this cat. The time at the top, where it says 4:29, we will want to make that where it says at the bottom, at the 59 seconds. We're going to be matching those two. So I will be sitting on this page until a little bit earlier than the time is there, and then canceling it right on the 59. Go in around probably 55, like 5 or 4 seconds earlier. There we go, 54, okay. And then I'll cancel it there on the 59. I will now go to my personal status on the 8th page and look at the time there. It says 9:34, so that's accurate. So I click find desync, and now the time changed to 0. So I will be leaving the Diva Song Hall and going back in. Now, we'll be repeating this process again with 0 seconds now. This may take you a few attempts to do to get your desync right, but it is important to be accurate with your system time compared to your server time, or you will not get the proper rolls. So, once again, just waiting, and then I'll go in a few seconds early. It doesn't matter how early you go in, it just matters when you skip the song. So I'll get 55 again, just because, and skip on the 0. Just like that, enter in my 6th for that, and now I'll check when it expires, 36 minutes, which is the 1 hour and 30 exactly. So, click find desync. So it found 0 for me because my system time matches my server, which means I can go start rolling my sigils and sniping. So I'll go to the workshop. So at the blacksmith, we'll be rolling to find our offset first at the smithy cap here. So first thing we're going to do is choose a recipe that we don't mind rolling for, and specifically one that is at the bottom and in this green color here with the 100% predictability at the top. This will make it so we can find our offset and maybe a little bit quicker and a little better. So I'm going to be choosing Lance because I don't play Lance, but you can choose whatever sigil, does not matter. So you'll be doing next here is you're going to be stopping that timer as you enter that sigil production menu. So, or whatever menu you are getting your offset from. I suggest sigil production. So, stop it like that. And now, we'll be going to roll our sigils. I will be rolling the lance, like I said before. You only roll one at a time. This way, you can write the individual values down specifically. So, 15, 12, and 4. And we place those in, and you see the offsets change to 45. So we're going to roll again. You're going to be going into that value that says 1. I'll speed this part up because this does take me a little bit of time. And with that last value put in, you can see my possible offsets went to 1 and gave me an offset of 103. So I'm going to go and now choose the sigil that I want to snipe for. So I'll be scrolling down and I'll be choosing Magnet Spike Plus for this time. So now that I have the offset, I go to snipe. I go here, I'm going to choose what values I want on my sigil. So I'll be putting attack and as much high values as I can, and you'll see all these possible situations here with different outcomes of how many rarity sigils you'll have to roll. Like that one's expensive because it was 8 times you'd have to roll a group of 10.
So we have a few different options here. Like that one is roll a 7 and then a group of 1, and then a group of 7 and then a 1, sorry. And here, there's a lot of bad rolls I'm getting here, and I personally want to choose a cheap one. Oh, that's a good one there. I will be choosing this one. And with the powers of editing, it is now a few seconds away. That's nice. You just have to wait for the timer to hit 0, and once that timer does hit 0, you'll be entering the sigil production menu. It is an awkward timing that may take a few times for you to get right. Now we're going to roll rarity sigils. First, a group of 4, and then a singular 1 is what that means next. These are cheap sigils to roll. So now we have to roll our magnet spinning sigil. I'm going to roll it here, 14, 15, 15. That's a pretty good one. So, one nice thing about this program is if you are late or early, you can get your next offset. So if I was late or early, I would choose the later seeds and choose that. But since I got the correct sigil that I wanted, I'm going to choose the 125, and it sets my offset for me. So I can just go down and look here and see, oh wow, this one here in 50 seconds. I'm going to skip forward for that. Here we go. Now, opening the sigil production at 1 second. And now it is one group of 9 I have to put in here. So I'm going to do that for my rarity sigils. Here's my magnet. And there we go. 15, 14, 13. Pretty good. So now, I'll be doing zenith sigils next. At the ending of the last one, I was able to get my offset of 25 there, so now I'll be rolling a zenith sigil. So I'm going down to the bottom here and choosing my recipe. Now I have parts here, so I'm going to just make sure I up them to the max values so I can snipe the sigil I want. Here, at the top, we can choose between using a res or heroics sigil as our fodder sigil, like how we have the rarities in the other one. I'm going to show you, like here we have the heroics and the res ones. You can choose any of the res ones, just has to be one of them at least. And just whatever one you have the most monster parts for. So it's up to you. I'm going to click the snipe here. We have the many different options. We have a long time away. I'm going to choose this top one here. Luckily it's pretty cheap. That's only 3 heroic sigil. With the power of editing, we skipped up here, and now it's only 5 seconds away now. We're going to click in the menu on the 0. There we go. And we're going to roll our group of 3 heroic sigils. So we switch up to the 3, choose the monster card. So. Now we roll the 1 elemental sigil we want. So we click that here, click the monster parts in, and roll. And there you go. So if I wanted to continue rolling, I would once again choose the offset after the sequence, or if I was early or late, I would choose that there.
One feature I was not using during my sigil rolling was the depth per seed part. So changing this number here allows for things to be cheaper so you don't have to look through all of these. Like rolling a 10 group 7 times is rather expensive, and I would not want to do that, and I don't think most people would either. So you can change your depth to like 50, for example, and it will change it to, oh, I just need a group of 8 and then a group of 3 after, and that's pretty simple. Or I can even lower that to 10 or further, and it will only show me the ones that are, oh wow, pretty close. A group of 3 and then a 1, a group of 2, a group of 1, 1, 3, 2. All of these are very nice to do. So just find a depth that you prefer and just keep it at that.
Okay, now I'm going to give you an example on what you would do if you were a little fast or slow on opening the Sigil production page. So with this here, we're going to choose Snipe. I have my offset there. I'm going to choose something that looks cheap, what I want. Well, wow, this one's 4 away, one group of 4 away. I'll make sure to time that. I'm going to purposely whiff this one and show the early and late seeds difference. So I was late there, so I'll go look here. One group of 4, sell them out. And now I'll roll my SNS sigil. And affinity and a 14. So because I have a red there, that would mean I need to pick the red roll one at the bottom there, where it says 3. So now, with that new roll, I can click Snipe, or just look at what I have as the next ones here. So that one's a group of 4, and then a single roll by itself away. So I'll try that one. Ugh, that one felt early. I think I mistimed that, but I'll just show you again. And then my group of 1. And we have status attack and length. That is not what I am aiming for, but you can see that it is the 3 seconds early sequence. So I will choose that as my new offset for the 65 there. So, wow. I need to click the snipe button again because of the amount of old stuff there. See if I can find something. Oh wow, these are all really close to me. That one's pretty good. Oh, let's see. I didn't mean to do that. Well, okay, I'm just gonna get to the ready. Oh, that one's too fast. 6 times 1. That one was also too close to me. I'm just missing all of them right now. This is unfortunate. Here, that's a pretty good one. Oh, that one's even better, actually. I'll be waiting for this one. So I'm just gonna skip ahead, and I'll be 1 second. And with that, we're back. So I'm just gonna wait for the timer to once again hit 0. And this time I'm not going to mess it up, the timing. We're going to get the sigil that I am looking for. There we go. So one group of 1 rarity here, and then another group of 1. There we go. Now we roll our SNS sigil, and here we go. So that is what I was looking for. So, but it's not quite 15, so if I wanted to continue, I could click the 191 and keep my offset going and continuously rolling. But I am not. So, that is all though. Thank you for watching.